Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Report on February 6, 2025, and not really much in the way of snow for us this morning, but we have something much bigger to watch for the weekend. A very murky afternoon and evening, and honestly, I don't feel well right off the bat. I got a headache, I'm lethargic, and I went to look at the air quality alert because I saw it looked like a lot of haze in the air. And we got moderate air quality being reported. So it looks like, yeah, we got some moderate air quality. This is not actually listing the observations, but we got some moderate air quality. You can see some moderate air quality reports here for New York City. Let's see if we can get some more stations. Queens, AQI 55. So, yeah, air quality's not great in our area because it's very stagnant. We have an inversion, so that explains what's going on with that. We will look at the snowfall reports. Not a whole lot here to talk about because there's not a whole lot that happened. Only a ½ inch in Central Park, 0.2 inch at JFK, 0.5 inch in Riverhead. I mean, barely anything. We actually underperformed. However, you notice that there is a winter storm watch in effect. So there is a briefing on this event for Saturday night, Sunday morning, which is looking a little colder, and hence the reason for the winter storm watch. And you can see here, there's a potential for 6 inches or more of snow Saturday evening into Sunday morning, which would, that's the lower Hudson Valley in southern Connecticut. Snowfall rates of 1 inch an hour and temperatures mid to upper 20s. Now, for our area, New York City, northeastern New Jersey, and Long Island, winter storm watch. Snow, sleet, potential for accumulating snow Saturday evening to Sunday morning, possibly transitioning to a period of sleet and or rain, but the potential for 6 inches of snow is less than 10%. Ice, a glaze of ice is possible as well. So hence the winter storm watch. So this is the amounts that they have on the map. I'm not putting my map up. Not going to draw one yet, but I tendency to agree with this amount. The higher amounts will tendency be for the north, I think. So these are just some of the probabilities that we have for. It's not really. Going to be, I mean, looking at it looks impressive, and you look at the models, but you'll see the winds and the temperatures are kind of borderline for us, and that's an issue, of course, that complicates the forecast. Let's look at our statistics for today here at iSlip, and we got up to 39, a low of 26, so 1 degree above normal. Might have actually gotten warmer than that now, and 0.37 inches of liquid precipitation, liquid equivalent precipitation today. So you can see the satellite. We got a lot of clouds around. If we pull this out, you'll see this zonal flow we're in. This is going to be the Saturday system, so it's going to be racing across. You can see high pressure trying to build in, and then we have a front over here with actually, believe it or not, some severe weather in this area here. It looks like over western North Carolina, extreme western North Carolina, and northern Georgia. There's actually some severe weather. And if we go to the map here, take a look what we got over here. These look like tornado warnings. What? Tornado warnings in February? Yep, we have some tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for, it looks like, eastern Kentucky and eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. And lots of flash flood warnings as well. So if we look at this line of thunderstorms here, this is the line right here. Crazy that we would have that in, this is the line. Doesn't look that crazy on the radar, but they have tornado warnings in effect for these lines. So this will not be affecting us. So that's going to be passing by to the south. So let's look at, right now, nothing going on. There was a little bit of drizzle in the early afternoon. It kind of pretty much stopped. We'll go ahead and look at our temperatures. I wonder if it's very warm there. That's probably why. Yeah, I got some really warm, humid air up there coming up ahead of that front. That's probably why. But for us, it's a murky night tonight. 37, dew point 36. iSlip is reporting mist, but 3-mile visibility. So, but just really crappy conditions out there. Really just bad air quality too. Really bad. And I just don't feel well. And please let me know in the comments if you don't feel well today, because I certainly don't. So let's look at the precipitation amounts. Yeah, not a tremendous amount of precipitation here, 0.37. Not really a tremendous amount, but you see that winter storm watch that's in effect for a good part of the area, mainly New York City, Long Island, and I don't think we'll need a winter storm warning. I don't think we will, but they have the winter storm watch up there. So let's look at, and we'll find out more tomorrow. We're gonna go over the models and all of this stuff. But let's look at, and my train of thought just left the room here for a moment. I don't know what was I about to look at. Now I just forgot what it was. All right. Well, we'll look at the weather prediction center map. So you can see here. Here's that front, that cold front coming through. There's your low. There's a high, and there's this other low here. Still front in the south, and then this is the system we're going to be dealing with for Saturday. All right. So let's go and look at the models and take a look and see what we've got going on. And if I remember what I was going to show you, I'll put it up there, but right now I don't. So we're going to take one thing at a time here. Tomorrow we get a break with dry day, but you notice the isobar is being bunched up. We're going to be dealing with some wind tomorrow and possibly a need for a wind advisory. That high pressure just goes right out to sea. Here comes a low pressure area. And you can see the track of the low is really close, and that makes it hard to forecast where that rain snow line is going to be. And then that moves out. We get a little break later Sunday and the Monday. Just showing you a little bit of what we're dealing with. This is the storm I'm more impressed with, the Tuesday into Wednesday storm. This southerly track, colder air, definitely going to be more. And then it's just a ton of storms in the pipeline here. And just really, I mean, some of them, it's just one after another after another. A little bit of a break there toward the end maybe, but I don't usually go in long range. But I just want to show you the GFS and how crazy the snowfall is. We're just going to go to the total snowfall, and you'll see. I put it all the way to the end of the period. Take a look at that. 38 inches, New York. I don't think this is going to verify, but it only is indicating a rather wet pattern. We may have the chance for some larger snowfalls here. In the longer range. Total accumulated precip, you can see it has a very wet pattern for us. Now, we could use that because, I remember what it was. It leads me into what I needed to show you. The drought monitor. So, unfortunately, we have, all right, so it's just abnormally dry over Suffolk County, but you'll notice that the moderate drought is the moderate drought for the rest of Long Island. But you notice that the severe drought has now been expanded to include northeast New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, and also we still have that extreme drought in New Jersey, the Jersey Shore, Pine Barrens area. So yeah, we could use that precipitation because it's been very, very dry. So whether it's snow or rain, those snowpack would be actually better. Be better for the ground, be able to soak in more. So let's take this, but let's just showing you the kind of pattern we're going to be in. So get ready for lots of storms. But let's first show you some of the models with the Saturday system here. All right. So tomorrow we're dry. It is showing the possibility that there could be perhaps a flurry or brief sprinkle with the cold front that comes through, because it really doesn't come through until late morning tomorrow. All right. This is what the HRRR shows. You can see it only goes out so far. The HRRR not looking terribly impressive here in terms of snowfall. It's got it starting as a mix, so that's not a good. If you want the snowfall for the system, that's not a good setup at all. So that is one of the short-range models we have to work with here. Let's go to the NAM. That's the next one we can look at. 0Z NAM. Let's see how that... now, the NAM's probably going to be a lot colder, and sure enough it is. We're still missing some data here. That's when you're really going to... The NAM's colder, so you could see the NAM tendency keeps it more snow. So that would be a higher total, all right? That's that model. We have the NAM 12, which we have a little more of here. So here's the NAM 12. And the NAM, you can see, keeps that dark blue over Long Island there, which would, again, try to indicate higher snowfall. So if we went to the NAM and looked at the total snowfall on the NAM, you can see it's got us above 6 inches. I'm not sure. I'm not buying this. How heavy it's got it even down here. So I don't know. The NAM is doing this. It has a much stronger storm to the south. This is one model. So the models don't agree. And that's what makes things hard. Let's look at the GFS next. Well, here's the GFS. This is the 18Z GFS. And you can see the GFS, also like the NAM, has a much further south storm. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the Tuesday storm. I knew that was looking too good. But you can see the GFS brings the warmer air in, switches over to rain, and that would tendency to limit the snowfall totals down a little bit, all right? So that's the GFS. European. Here's the European. European, a little more like the NAM and a little bit colder. There is going to be an area that's going to have some heavy snow. But the question is, where does that happen? And right now, we just don't know. I'm leaning toward just north of us. So let's look at the dew points and wind flow. Obviously, yeah, we can do that with the European. So we'll look at the dew points and wind flow. First with the European. All right. And then we'll look at the HRRR. You can see that west wind, and then you see that colder air coming in tomorrow afternoon. And this is the storm right here. So we have an east wind, southeast wind. East is not the most favorable direction for snowfall at the coast because of the water temperature. So if we go back to our marine report here, which we can do, the marine reports. Let's see if I can. Marine. Let's just do this instead of looking at the map because half the time they don't have all the information on there. So let's see. Sea temperatures are 43, 40 at New York Harbor. That's above freezing. So that's gonna mean warmer air comes in. All right. So that's why I have a tendency to think that we're going to see that changeover on the coast right now. So right now, I don't see the need for a winter storm warning at this point, but we have to wait for a few more runs to come in. All right. So this is the European. Now let's look at the NAM. Let's see if the NAM does the same thing with the wind. So here's the NAM. Yeah, southeast. That's a south wind. How are you going to get that much snow with the southeast wind, east wind? That just doesn't happen. That never happens. And this air mass isn't that cold for it to really. So I'm not buying these higher end snow amounts right now. From what I'm seeing in the models, anyway, I'm not buying. I think the HRRR actually probably has a better handle on this. So here's the HRRR again. You can see we're in this murky air, and the air quality, we're not going to get out of it until the morning. And then throughout the day, the drier, cleaner air comes in on breezy northwest winds, staying with a northwest wind to start Saturday, but then that wind shifts to the south. And this is exactly why I think there's going to be a changeover with that kind of wind setup. So let's look at the temperatures tonight. They're not going to really be going much anywhere. The temperatures won't really start dropping until we get probably toward Friday afternoon. So we're going to have temperatures generally in the 30s. And then as we get toward Friday afternoon, we'll see the temperatures drop more into the low 30s. And then by evening, we will have temperatures dropping into the 20s. Not any colder than that, though. You can see the core of the cold air once again goes over New England. And then for Saturday, we'll have plenty of clouds, but we'll still get up into the mid-30s. So that's right now what it looks like. All right. For tomorrow, as far as if you are hoping for any clear skies tomorrow, more likely toward the afternoon. We'll look at 18Z. It probably still won't happen. These lines are still kind of close together. It looks a little bit better in the afternoon, I guess. But you can see how close together they are, especially to the south. So probably going to be a lot of stratocumulus tomorrow. So at least maybe there'll be a decent looking sky. You won't have that junky cirrus around. So, well, anyway. But there'll be some clouds. That's what all I have right now for you on the snow event. And as we get closer, like I said, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal on Long Island at this point. And the timing, again, let's go to the timing here. Timing on the onset of this, HRRR actually has this mix moving in as early as 6 o'clock Saturday. So HRRR a little bit faster. The NAM might be, let's see, the timing on the NAM is a little bit slower. But it has it right around 7, 8 o'clock, and you can see the precipitation moving in. So this is, but you can see the NAM has it mixing to sleet, but never really changing over to rain. It's a little colder. It's a little further to the south. But again, with the low and the wind the way it is, not really that great of a cold air mass. I just don't. I'm not impressed with the possibility. I think I'm much more impressed with Tuesday. Tuesday's event looks a lot more impressive. And we'll talk more about that, of course, on Sunday night. So let's go to the RGM. We'll look at the skies. We'll go to the 18Z for that. We'll just look at the skies for tomorrow just to give you an idea of what's going to happen tomorrow. So you can see I have this little bit of cloud band that moves through. It's like the main cold front, I guess. And then once it moves through to the south, maybe right around 2 o'clock, we could have mostly sunny skies, perhaps, before we see the cirrus stream in for your Saturday. And again, if you're in New England, it does have some clouds over, but you'll avoid the cirrus for the most part. You're in northern New England before it kind of comes in later in the day. So let's talk about the wind for tomorrow. Off to Ventus Sky we go. And see how bad these winds are going to be for tomorrow. We'll look at this and windy.com. It's showing gusts up to 31, so maybe just shy of wind advisory. You're going to notice that wind. We could also look at windy.com. That one might be a little more impressive. Let's see. So, let's see what we got. Yeah, this might be a little more impressive here. But still not quite wind advisory criteria. But we'll see. If it's a little bit stronger, you're going to notice the wind. But the stronger winds are upstate. So they have wind advisories up there. But I think we just miss out on that. But you're still going to notice the wind tomorrow. Still going to be, that wind is still going to be up there. It's still going to be breezy. And with the temperatures colder, it's definitely going to feel colder. That's for sure. Which, honestly, I don't mind after this disgusting, murky day we had today. So, for now, that wraps up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.